One of them was a second.
Yep.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor of approval of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The consent agenda has passed. We'll now move on to unfinished business, Bill 10868. Mr. Hawes.
Deputy Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance adopting and approving the operating and capital budgets for the City of Kirkwood for the fiscal year April 1, 2021 through March 31, 2022, and appropriating such sums as are set forth herein for all departments and the accounts therein specified for all expenditures of the city of such year, which appropriations total $90,265,872, capital projects of $9,910,820, appropriating the sum of $201,050 for payment of principal for Performing Arts Center interfund loan from the general fund, and reappropriating $9,543,223 for previously approved projects that will be incomplete as of March 31st, 2021.
Are there any questions or comments on Bill 10868? Seeing none, roll call, please. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Wallace.
You didn't think I was going to let a $90 million budget go by without comment.
Oh, come on.
First, let me try and clear up a comment that I made at the last meeting. During the discussion about the TDD, I made a comment about the ability of our Public Works Department to utilize that money in an effective way. And I want to make it clear, and as I stated in the hearing the week before, we have some very competent and talented, smart people working for us on the city payroll. And for me, the issue was not competency, it was capability. As you know, well, some of you would know that a couple of years ago, the Director of Public Works, Bill Bensing, stated himself that the best he could probably do would be $4 million to $5 million a year. And that would be a stretch. And we're talking about potentially doubling that. And within this budget, there's no money that was extended in order to explore ways to improve the efficiency rather than just doing more of what we already do. There are other means of providing contracting and construction work on this, which I've made the council and the administration aware of. For those in the community listening, you know, we had one of the chief engineers for MoDOT, who is accountable for all of the design build work that this MoDOT does in this region. And she stated categorically that built right, that could be a real game changer for our municipality. So I'm disappointed that there wasn't some money allocated for that purpose to investigate other means of completing this work, because I think it becomes somewhat of a pig in a poke if we have, $8 million to spend on roads and we can't spend it effectively. So I just wanted to make that clear on that. And then also, I have a concern with, and this speaks to process on the budget, and then I'll reference another couple of items for us. There are 7 of us on here. The makeup varies in race and gender and age and just total life backgrounds. The reason for that, it was that the founders hoped that it would give a better chance of a representation of a cross section of the community, so that everybody's voice had an opportunity to be heard for folks who walk in the same shoes that they do. In this process now, I've seen 3 years where nearly $90 million budget, and this year slightly more than $90 million budget, goes forward with no comment, no challenges, no recommendations for additions or subtractions on those budgets, and that troubles me, and it should trouble most residents in the community. You know, when I look at our Facebook campaign slogans and the statements that we made when we're running for office, we make a lot of promises about I'll be the strong voice for you, and I'll bring transparency, and you know, I'll speak on your behalf. But you rob taxpayers when you're silent on these issues. Now, you might say that CAO Hawes has given you 3 perfect budgets, and there's no reason to change them. You know, it was an immaculate conception in finance. I think that's not plausible. It's possible, but not plausible. I take a look at this particular budget. You know, in our last conversation about the South Kirkwood Road, we talked about implementation, and Councilmember Wirtz was very eloquent in stating the concerns and steps that we needed to make in order to implement a smart street, complete streets Vision Zero concept for this city. Yet no one recommended, shouldn't we put some money in here to discover, have the CAO and staff investigate what does a typical community's cost look like when they implement a program like that? I think that would have been an important first step for us to take. You know, it's almost as if we would have been better off had the charter stated that you have to state right after the Pledge of Allegiance all of your campaign statements. So we'd have a better chance of folks actually stepping up and meeting some of those. So, you know, I just think we can do a better job of representing the concerns of people in the future. And I hope that as we move a little farther into this budget, that folks will be willing to amend it in those ways that might bring better results for homeowners in this community. As I said at the last couple of meetings, you know, the administration at this point is picking winners and losers. There's no arguing that when it comes to streets. Some folks are getting a Band-Aid, other folks are getting complete surgery and a facelift and everything else that's involved. And you might say that that's timely at this point, but no one's planning to reverse that or correct it. The amount of money that we continue to project since 2014, the $40 million, was an inaccurate amount. It was an incomplete, let me say this, it was an incomplete amount. It continues to be an incomplete amount. And we're talking about asking the community for money to reduce up an incomplete amount. And that's, I just think that's wrong. So those are my concerns with this budget and with the process. And I hope as we go forward, we can do a better job with it.
Thank you, Councilmember Ward. Anyone else have any other question or comment? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Oh, Deputy Mayor, I think Councilmember Ward's had her hand raised.
Right, again, sorry about that. Thank you.
I just want to kind of, you know, I understand Councilmember Ward's concerns, but there's a lot in this budget that the 7 of us have been very vocal in bringing up, whether it be the grants trail, whether it be increasing the amount of trees that we are planting as a city. That's seen an increase in this budget. Obviously the Vision Zero, which is going to change the way we've discussed that ad nauseum. But I think there are changes in here that were put on because the 7 of us were vocal and pushed for them. And maybe the discussion topics didn't come up during the, 3 work sessions we had on the budget. But I do feel it might be a bit disingenuous to say, Councilman, the rest of us haven't had our own fingerprint in this budget, and that the city has just kind of created it out of thin air, and we've accepted it with no pushback or no work done on our own end. So I guess kind of wanted to put a counterpoint to that. That's all.
Councilmember Ward?
Yeah, well, that somewhat highlights some of the concerns that I expressed. You know, there's 7 of us with a completely different view of priorities and those things. If the purpose for us having a public meeting is so that people can see that public discourse among us, so we can grow or learn or disagree on those things. If we're working in our own 7 different silos, why would that benefit the community? Everything that we have in the charter hopes to eliminate that potential. Members of the community need to see that we're having conversations about the things that are important to those, so that someone understands that that the perspective that they have is being represented. When you keep that to yourself, you know, even to the extent where, you know, we have in place now a process where that everyone agreed to, that requests going to members of the staff would be duplicated and sent to everyone, so we have an opportunity to all have the same level of understanding. We've not had that, and I hope we can get there. I think it'll be healthier for us. I think it'll be more helpful for members of the staff to hear those conversations, to understand a variety of 7 different perspectives on issues that come before us.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilmember. Thank you, Councilmember Ward. I think we have, as always, ways to learn more, to do better. And I also think we're all doing a very good job and working very hard at it. So if there are no more suggestions or questions, roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
No.
Councilmember Wirtz.
Yes.
Bill 10869 has passed final reading, except that it was 10868. Gee whiz. Sorry about that. All right, Bill 10869, Mr. Hawes.
Yes, Deputy Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance approving the budget of the Special Business District for the fiscal year April 1, 2021 through March 31, 2022.
Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wirtz.
Yes.
Bill 10869 has passed final reading. 10870 and 10871 will be happening at a later date. So we
No,
go to,
they're on this agenda.
oh, I thought we had, okay, sorry
No.
about that. I
Nope.
misunderstood an
No,
email.
email to you earlier was just about agreements.
Got it. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I really did practice, I promise. 10870, Bill 10870, Mr. Hawes.
Yes, Deputy Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission STP Urban Program Agreement for the awarded Surface Transportation Program STP 5502-612 for the Lindeman Road Improvement Project.
Any comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wirtz.
Yes.
And 10871 has passed final reading. We'll now move to new business. Bill 10872.
Deputy Mayor, that was
That's actually-
10870.
Yeah.
10871.
All right. Deputy Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission STP Urban Program Agreement for the awarded Surface Transportation Program STP 5502-611 for the North Kirkwood Road Improvement Project.
Are there any questions or comments on Bill 10871? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes,
Councilmember Wertz.
Yes.
And bill passes. Final reading. Now, new business, 10872. Mr. Hawes, please.
Deputy Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance appropriating $27,000 from electric fund balance to the electric engineering account to cover additional expenses associated with the time of use race development and polar vortex power and sales impact.
Do I have a motion and a second to accept Bill 10872 for first reading approval?
So moved.
so moved. Second.
Got him? Okay, any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor of first reading approval of Bill 10872, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Bill 10872 has passed first reading. Resolution 16/2021. Mr. Hawes.
This is a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Lewis Rice LLC for legal services to be rendered for the period of April 1, 2021 through March 31, 2023.
Do I have a motion and a second to accept
Move
resolution 16/2021?
Second.
And a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please. Oh, wait, I have a question or comment.
Don't miss your chance.
I won't. Mr. Hessel, thank you. I have had the incredible honor and enjoyment of working with you, I think about 11 years now. And Kirkwood would not be who we are without you and all of your folks from Lewis Rice. So thank you.
Thank you very much, but Kirkwood would be fine without me. I appreciate it. It's all of you that do all the heavy lifting.
I've been on the phone with you too many times before meetings to let that go. Mr. Ward.
Yeah, I would agree with the sentiments you expressed. We owe a great deal of gratitude to the members of the Lewis Rice firm for loaning us John on a regular basis. Had you approached me 50 years ago when I saw him at the Sig Hep House in SEMO, I would have said, there's no way we can accept it. But time has been good to him and he's been good to us. So thank you, John.
Seriously, it's my pleasure.
Mark, Mr. Zimmer.
Don, I'll echo those sentiments, but do you want to stay and want to put up with us?
I do.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
Yeah. Anybody else? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer, Mark.
You're on mute, Mark.
Yes.
okay,
There you go. I can read
Councilmember
your
Ward,
lips.
Yes,
Councilmember Wertz.
Yes.
Resolution 16/2021 has passed by the skin of its nose. Resolution 17/2021.
Deputy Mayor and Council, this is a resolution accepting the bid of Don Brown Chevrolet in the amount of $23,895 pursuant to a MoDOT cooperative contract for the purchase of a 2021 Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck for the engineering department and authorizing and directing the Director of Procurement to issue a purchase order.
Do I have a motion and a second to accept Resolution 17/2021 as read?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
yes,
Councilmember Wertz.
Yes.
Resolution 17, 2021 has passed. Resolution 18, 2021.
Deputy Mayor and Council, this is a resolution accepting the bid of Joe Mockins Ford in the amount of $48,232 pursuant to a MoDOT cooperative contract for the purchase of 2 compact sport utility vehicles, Ford Broncos, for the Planning and Development Services Department, and authorizing and directing the Director of Procurement to issue a purchase order.
Do I have a motion and a second to accept Resolution 18, 2021 as read?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz.
Yes.
Resolution 18, 2021 has passed. Resolution 19, 2021. Mr. Hawes.
Deputy Mayor and Council, this is a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Ameren, Missouri in the amount of $500,000 for the purchase of 25 megawatts of capacity for the electric department.
Do I have a motion and a second to accept
Move
Resolution
approval.
19, 2021 as read? Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz.
Yes.
Resolution 19, 2021 has passed. Resolution 20, 2021. You think that's easy to say?
This is a resolution accepting the bid of Viking Civis Midwest in the amount of $316,870 pursuant to a Sourcewell cooperative contract for the purchase of 2 dump trucks for the street department and authorizing and directing the Director of Procurement to issue a purchase order.
Do I have a motion and a second to accept Resolution 20, 2021? That might have been too many,
Motion.
as read.
Motion.
Second.
Second? Roll call, please. I'm sorry, there are questions and answers? Questions and answers or comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer. I think you were muted, Mark.
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz.
Yes.
Resolution 20, 2021 has passed. Resolution 2020, no, Resolution 21, 2021. There we go.
Deputy Mayor and Council, this is a resolution authorizing the Chief Administrative Officer to enter into a collective bargaining agreement with the local union number 2 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers for a term of April 1, 2021 through March 31, 2024.
Do I have a motion and second to accept Resolution 2021, 2021 as read?
Move approval.
Second. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Councilmember Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer. Councilmember Zimmer, for some reason, it's not picking up
Yes.
your voice. There you go.
There you go.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz.
Yes.
Resolution 21, 2021 has passed. Resolution 22, 2021.
Deputy Mayor and Council, this is a resolution amending the contract of Brown and Caldwell by increasing the contract amount by $51,551 for a not to exceed amount of $92,564 for the development of an emergency response plan for the city of Kirkwood's water infrastructure and authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an amended contract.
Do I have a motion and second to accept Resolution 22, 2021 as read?
Move approval.
Second.
Are any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
No, Wallace actually has his hand up.
Oops, sorry, again. Not again, you have your hand up. Again, I missed it. Wallace.
Well, I'll use my left hand next time.
Hey,
Russ, could you explain to us the reason for the $51,000 amendment?
I'm going to pass that over to,
the scope there.
yes, I'm going to pass that over to Bill Bensing because he's very familiar with this contract and the specifics of it.
Good evening. Yes, this is the second part of the American Water Infrastructure Act is requiring the city to have two plans. One was our risk and resilience assessment, which was completed this past December. And part of that risk and resilience, what comes out of that is threats that are identified in our system. And the second part is also required from the EPA is our emergency response plan. Basically, that emergency response plan takes into account the threats and assessments that were found in the what we call the RRA, okay? And now we go into an emergency response plan, and it's developed underneath the EPA guidelines. What we did was basically why we were amending this contract. This is split between two budget years. We had money budgeted last year, and we had two things going on in our budget last year. Was the RRA and our self-supervisory authority. We're currently working on our self-supervisory authority to where we no longer have to go to DNR for all of our water main replacements. Those two took up our budget, so we split this one into this coming budget for our second portion of our requirement by our EPA requirement under the American Water Infrastructure Act. That's why it's amending the current budget or amending the contract with Caldwell and Brown.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
any other questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Sears,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dewey,
Yes.
Councilmember Zimmer,
Yes.
Councilmember Ward,
Yes.
Councilmember Wertz.
Yes.
Resolution 22, 2021 has passed. There were no questions about the consent amendment or the consent. And so we will move on to city council reports. Are there any city council reports? Seeing none, Chief Administrator, again,
Well,
hi, I got you before anybody had to yell.
Well, first, I would ask that the minutes not reflect the incredible number of mistakes that Deputy Mayor Dewey has committed tonight, especially in calling upon fellow council members. But
It wasn't personal, I promise.
that's what they always say.
I know.
Councilmember Zimmer and myself had an opportunity to attend the Chamber of Commerce Gala, in which a number of great members of our community and businesses in our community were recognized. And it just highlights the value that not only the individuals have, but the businesses who give us goods and services and also contribute to the social welfare whenever they can of members of this community. So it was a great opportunity for us to highlight those folks and give them due credit.
Nice. Mark.
Yeah, if I can add to that, it shows the resiliency of all businesses in Kirkwood that have gone through this last year. It's really incredible that, even while we're still socially distancing ourselves, because a lot of folks were virtual on that night, that people have kept moving on and people have kept pushing forward. And, these businesses made it through probably one of the toughest years they've ever had. So, congratulations to them. And, Wallace and I are very proud to represent and be there to honor those businesses because, without those businesses, we would not be Kirkwood. So thank you to all those folks that are committed to our city.
And thank you, Wallace and Mark, for going and representing all of the city. what an amazing evening. What an amazing evening. Thank you so much.
Oh, also, I don't want to forget that Chief Silvernail and a number of his members of his command staff were there and were recognized for some of the efforts that they've made also. So it was great to see them there.
Nice. Anything else? Chief Administrative Officer reports.
Yes, Deputy Mayor, the city has received an application for a temporary outdoor promotional variance from Walmart Incorporated, 1202 South Kirkwood Road, to have an outdoor display of mulch, potting soil, fertilizer, etc. from March 20th, 2021 through July 20th, 2021. This application would require a city council approval by voice vote.
Okay. Do I have a motion and a second to approve this application?
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All against, please say nay. The application has passed. City Attorney reports. I'm sorry, anything else? Russ?
No, that completes my report. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm looking
City-
forward to a beautiful mulch display.
Mhm. I'm looking forward to a beautiful mulch in my yard.
That's right.
I'm
They
more of
normally
a
have a
potting
lot
soil
of,
guy.
they have a lot of nice stuff there.
Oh, they do, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Hassel,
I have nothing to report, although I would note that just when you think you've seen it all, during the Zoom meeting, I see some cattail go right in front of Lori's camera. And I know Kara saw it, and I couldn't stop laughing. Thank you for that, Lori. That was quite amusing. And thank you,
You're right.
Kat.
You're very welcome.
I don't know if she wanted us to mention it, but yeah, we did see that. But that's okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Just when you thought you saw it all.
I think all of us that have cats have cats that are known by more people than they've ever been known by before.
Yeah. Oh.
City Clerk report.
Yes, I have a couple things to report. The first is the report of the March 17th meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. The following action was taken. The commission unanimously recommended approval of a special use permit for Randall's Wines and Spirits to operate a liquor store at 10441 and 10451 Manchester Road. A public hearing will be scheduled for that. The commission recommended approval by a vote of 6-2 for a subdivision modification in order to accommodate a boundary adjustment plat of 336, 338, and 340 South Fillmore Avenue. Legislation will be drafted for that. I'll report on the scheduled upcoming public hearings. We have a scheduled upcoming hearing on April 1st, 2021 for a staff-initiated request for a text amendment to section 25-36 subsections E3 of the zoning code related to revisions of the framework plan portion of the downtown master plan and parking study. And the first item from the March 17th meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission will be scheduled for April 15th. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience, and seeing no further business, this meeting is now adjourned. The next scheduled meeting of the Kirkwood City Council is April 1st. You think this one was funny? Give us a minute. Meeting is adjourned.